Digital Queen says, Alts, this is my first time seeing your face.
Cheers, Ninja.
Cheers. Oh, they got the Universal Profiles account here. That's great. And Rob's here as well. So, okay. While Mustafa figures out how to operate his webcam, let's
This is become a nightmare. Give me a sec.
hey, no worries. If it doesn't work, we'll just pretend you're speaking telepathically to us the
Yeah, I
entire
actually quite
time.
enjoyed that. That was
No, I'm using this app called Elgato, and I don't know why it stopped working.
Yeah, it's okay. It's all good.
That's a demo effect. Huh? That's what I like in live streaming. Never exactly happen as a script. That's why I always advise to not script it too much, because this way you will be too deceived that it doesn't happen like the script.
Yeah, anything that can go wrong will go wrong. That's how this works.
Occam's razor, right?
Yeah. Well, that's the simplest.
Right. Oh,
that's the simplest
yeah.
solution. And we got Might Be here. We've got Ballsy here. So we got people showing up. Thanks for showing up, and really appreciate it. Hopefully you find some value today. We've got an agenda now that I've wasted some time off the top, about 10 minutes. It'll be about 90 minutes long, I would guess. Some general introductions, little introduction to GitHub. Going to do some LLM assisted development. Talk a little bit about privacy and pitfalls and being a smart developer, right? You probably don't want to blindly copy paste your environment code, your environment variables. You don't want to send those things up to your GitHub. Then we'll do a little hands-on prompting towards the end, and then we'll wrap it up and set the stage for you to go and do this yourself a little bit, set up, practice some of the things we've shown you, and then we'll come back again and get a little bit deeper the next time. So that's just so everybody's aware of kind of what's on the agenda today. So I guess what we got on the first thing, like we kicked off, we introduced one another here, but Bertrand, from your perspective, I kind of alluded to what vibe learning was in my words, but what do you think vibe learning is? Like, 'cause you kind of coined it after doing a live session before. So you want to kind of give us in your words what vibe learning is?
Because because as I say, I'm more into education than just performance, and I feel most of the, at least American way of thinking, it's more about performance than education, if I may say. At least that's my that's my feeling, and that in the European part we are more into understanding before shooting, if I can summarize this way. And so I wanted to balance this vibe coding hype, like it is just trust the LLM and don't verify. It's kind of the opposite of what we're supposed to do on blockchain, because always say don't trust me, verify, but it never works. Everybody reply me, but you don't need to convince me. We already trust you. And so I feel this vibe learning idea is that instead of just believing the LLM, you should challenge yourself to understand what the LLM is proposing you. Because as we know, we should know that LLM is still hallucinating. And so by having the reasoning mode of the LLM, you have the, we say, train of thought of the LLM. So you can try to follow if the LLM reasoning is something you understand or not. And by trying to understanding, you are learning on the way. So instead of just doing coding, you are also learning how the LLM is coding for you. So this way, it's kind of more pair programming instead of just coding where you don't even try to understand. That's the feedback I got. What the understanding I got is that most people start to discuss with, they don't even want to understand anymore as long as it works. It looks to work. That's also the difference between does it really works does it work only today, and can you guarantee it will work tomorrow?
Right.
That's sustainability. But yeah, is it more understandable like this?
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. All right, Mustafa, what does vibe learning mean to you?
Yeah, for me, it's an awesome tool to fasten learning new concepts, like quick prototyping, experimenting, and also like you know exploring new tech. I would say, because now I can just plug in a doc and I can ask questions about certain like use cases. I can build a prototype around it, and of course I can double check with like by myself by checking the documentation. But even though that's completely like optional, if I go, of course, like if I will be like optimizing, like it will be like a scalable solution, like something serious or big. Yes, I need to go deep, like need to dive deep and understand the real how to use it. But if I'm going to just showcase an idea or, yeah, as I said, quickly prototype it, I don't need to like spend more like much time as before. It used to be like you need to watch at least like 4 or 5 hours of material to have an hands-on uh, like experience for building a prototype, I would say. Now you just ask dumbest questions and it figures out like it helps you, building those ideas.
Yeah, great. Alts, knowing that you haven't done much development, right? What does vibe learning mean to you? Like, because you're here for a vibe learning session. Like,
Yes.
what do you think you're going to get out of this?
Well, I have what's in my head, kind of what I guess maybe the general public that doesn't have any experience at all, what they imagine vibe coding is.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think I think it's something kind of in between where it's kind of like it's instead of just like trying to memorize something or just follow a tutorial, it's kind of like a little bit more real time, kind of through osmosis, right? You kind of like it's more hands on. I think like you learn by doing. But I think that I don't know. It's also about that symbiosis between like learning how to work with AI, because like man, it's gonna be so important moving forward because all this stuff's just moving so fast. So like yeah, learning to be able to coordinate with the AI in real time, I think is really important. So yeah, I mean, I'm just kind of keeping and trying to have no expectations, but yeah, I'm excited to watch you guys vibe learn and dig in myself.
Well, everyone's going to learn something. That's the hope. And like,
Right.
for me, vibe learning is literally from the moment I enrolled in a boot camp, AI, like the tooling was just really starting to gain a little bit of traction, I think. And, it accelerated the pace at which I could learn. When like that's why I resonated so much with Bertrand. It's like along the way I've been able to 10x or that's just a random number, many times over the top multiply the rate at which I can understand a system or understand what is happening, because I don't have to go and watch 10 YouTube videos that eat my time or read a Stack Overflow forum, right? Like all that information is actually coming at me. It's like having an assistant on my shoulder all day long. And you can actually chain multiple assistants together if you get good at it. But the most important thing here is to understand and put the brakes on. When you see the influencer in your Twitter feed that says, I built, it's like some clickbait person that's like, I built 7 applications this weekend. Well, no, you didn't. You might have prompted an LLM to build 7 front ends that don't work, right? That are not deployed, but it's still fun to build. If you actually want to build something a little bit more usable, let's say, it requires still an understanding. You have to learn along the way. You have to understand these systems. But if you're a developer right now that has like a real hesitancy with AI and you're like, I don't really like it, well, you have to use it, because there are people who use the abacus that were like, I don't have to use a calculator because I have the abacus. Why would I use a calculator? Right? Those calculators are few and far between. They could lie to me. Well, calculators are prolific now. They're everywhere. And even in the classroom as a kid, teachers would be like, you have to learn this because you won't always have a calculator. Well, I now have not only a calculator, I have the most powerful computer they could even conceive in my hand every day. It's better to use the tools that you have, but also understand the limitations of the tools. And I think that that's where we're coming to today. So that kind of, who is this session for? It's going to be for complete beginners that know nothing. It's also going to be for just curious developers in our community that might wonder what the hell are we even doing these days and want to know kind of like what we're playing with. And then general community member, I mean, anybody else who stumbles along, hopefully you have a good time. So I guess I'll kick this off. I had a question, like, what tool do you wish you had when you were learning to code? And like, I guess that would be a great question for Bertrand. But for me, when I asked, like, what tool do I wish I had when I was learning to code? I had it. It was called Cursor. It was incredible, right? Like it solved all the little syntax issues out the gate that could have tripped me up as I was trying to learn these languages. It's like when it threw an error, I could immediately go back and find that thing quickly. And it actually, some people would say that made the ability to recognize them and write clean code weaker. But I think it actually made my ability to read code much better because I knew where the error was and I could pick it up very quickly. So when I say what tool do I wish I had it. It was amazing. Bertrand, I throw that to you though. What tool do you wish you had when you were learning to code?
I mean, it's very different context because I started to code in the 80s of last century. So,
So anything.
A computer with a color display.
yeah. Having colors. I wish some way I could have more colors in the screen, but
Gotcha. Okay.
you see the difference of
Yeah.
context. So,
Yeah, for sure.
but in some way, like I've read some this kind of tool, I mean, of question, and it was kind of the opposite. Like, I mean, people without that start early, without without having this generative AI, even without internet, feel hopeful that it was not there yet because they got it more manual, like they avoid this kind of intellectual laziness that if you are like having this dopamine effect of you will have the answer quickly and for free, and you have this kind of rush, adrenaline rush that with usually happen with web coding is that you have something that magically works. It just with a prompt or with just a second. Now they even stream the like for people that are too impatient to wait for the LLM to answer. They are streaming the answer of the LLM, so you steal it. You see it appearing later by later or word by word, like a bit when like. When you were seeing people in instant messaging before, you were seeing people having the later appearing later by later. So in some way, I feel grateful that there was no even internet when I was starting to code, and it was kind of magazine, like programming magazine, where the program was written on the magazine, and you just follow up and like the old way of books that were published in the newspaper. Yeah, it was program that was published. I don't remember week by week or month by month. So that's kind of a very different context, and that's where I see the kind of the evolution also. Like less and less people know a world without internet, for example. Like when you are born after, I mean, the public internet, because internet started in the 70s, so but it was not public yet. It was public, at least in France, it was public only in 95. So I had to live even at least 10 years without programming, without internet. And I feel that's kind of I mean, challenging exercise at least. You feel people doesn't challenge themselves as much as they could.
Bertrand, you were living in the world of still killing your own food in the computer science world. You were out there hunting and making your own fire. And, now we're living in the world of like, super powered lighters and supermarkets. So, or even food delivery services.
Yeah, that's why I'm more against food delivery services. But yes, that's another story. But I feel it's more about also the sustainability.
Yeah.
Like even like when you say a calculator, like when you have you seen some people that get their calculator to just multiply by 10?
No,
I've seen that.
I've not seen that.
Could you believe seeing some people having to use their calculator to just multiply by 10?
No, I have not seen that. I don't
That's
know.
what happened when you are. I mean, could say, I'm used to it, so I don't even take the habit of trying to compute by myself. I just delegate to to the computer. So I
Yeah.
feel that's a risk with this kind of artificial intelligence. Is it will you delegate your intelligence to the artificial intelligence?
No, I like to use it as a tool. And that's what we're going to try to teach today. It's
Yeah,
meant to augment and add on to your natural abilities, right? It's not meant to supplant or replace your natural
exactly.
abilities.
That's why I like this Copilot naming that's put by Microsoft and GitHub. It's this AI should be your Copilot, but you should stay the pilot.
That's right. I like that.
And in a lot of web coding I've seen, it's look like it's the AI is not the Copilot, but the pilot, and it just people the prompter becomes a Copilot in some way.
Yeah. It depends on how you perceive it, right? Right. I think where that line's blurring more and more as the models are getting better. But let's start to dig down into why people might be hanging out with us right now, which is let's go through some process and start explaining some things. So Mustafa, if you want to share your screen, you can drive. And the first thing I think we'll talk about would just be GitHub, because if you're going to start, if you want to build inside of, let's say you want to build a mini app, then you're going to probably want to use a template. And Mustafa is a man who has been working on templates. So Mustafa, you want to take a minute here and explain like what is Git and what is GitHub?
Yeah, sure. Like GitHub, basically the place for you to not lose your code and securely collaborate with your developer friends, and of course contribute to other projects. Like very roughly, of course, it has tons of other features, but this is the level we need to know right now. And what you see is our Luxo Networks profile. We placed this new homepage, landing page recently, and so with LLMs, it's very beneficial to work with certain templates, and it's also a good and great like use case for building mini apps as well, because it's highly experimental, it's very personal, it lives under your profile, so people know like people can visit your profile and literally experience what you've built, and you can create however you want using either templates or just it doesn't have to be even blockchain application, right? So you can just build, like you can just wish something to the existing, like to the air, and let LLMs make them real at this point.
Mm,
But for Web3 mini apps, we have this mini app template that we have. And in today's demo, I'm going to use this template for how to prepare, I would say vibe coding or experimenting, like what you need to set up before writing your first prompt, because it's quite important, I would say, to first set up your environment. Then you have to, structure your prompt around your idea, because at this point LLM is aware of, like, it has the knowledge of, let's say, maybe 3 months ago, like everything on the internet 3 months ago. So it's all about what you are able, like how you are able to structure a prompt, so you can see it's being getting done by the LLM. So it's all about prompt engineering, I would say. But it is still requires some, like prepare steps to be set up or start prompting.
Hmm.
And yeah, do we want to go over to the cursor, or do you
Yeah,
want
just quickly, if just keep showing GitHub for a minute. I just want everyone
yeah,
to be aware. Assuming there's no knowledge, there's probably some people with knowledge out there, but Git is just it's a version control language, right? So it allows you to save your changes, but it does so in a structured way so you can unwind at some point and go back to a version previously before you screwed it up. And I say that because with LLMs, you have vibe coding and you're vibing. And if you're not, super deep, let's say you don't really understand, haven't written code before, these things can hallucinate. And every now and then it'll take you down a path that you don't want to be. You might be getting the dopamine hit and loving what you're seeing. And then all of a sudden you get into the loop of what we call vibe debugging, where it's just adding test after test after console log, trying to figure out what's happening. And now you've got a code base that, doesn't look very good, or it's spaghettified, right? Like it's just strings everywhere, different threads to follow. And Git is a version control system that allows you to wind that back. GitHub is like a social network for developers, right? So like all I can go on, as you can see, we're looking at the Luxo GitHub right there. This is where people can come and collaborate and work on the same project together while still maintaining version control inside of what we call a repository, which is a project. It's literally like a container that holds project code. So like I've got a project which has a repository. Inside, I'm going to have lots of different files that I might make changes to. As I make those changes, I'm going to make Git commits, which is going to establish a version history. And then at some point, I could push those up to the social network. And then as developers who are multiple people working on it, we could then collaborate. I could say, hey, Mustafa, can you review the code that I just put up there on my individual branch? Because we might want to pull it together because we're both working on the same project and ensure what I did didn't break anything or vice versa. That's all GitHub is, and that's all Git is. And this is where, when Bertrand says he started in the 80s, there was no GitHub. This was, he had a folder on his desktop, and collaborating with other people was very difficult. You had to be local. Now we're distributed globally right now. We're all around the world. None of us are in the same room with one another, but if we wanted to, we could work together. This is a great one right here. Shruti, this is a great comment. Thumb rule. If it does not debug within 3 rounds of back and forth, it's time to ask it to review everything. Yep. That is a good rule of thumb. Don't go too far into the debugging loop. Boy, does that suck. Okay, so that kind of covers what GitHub is, what GitHub and repository is at a very high level. You can set up your own GitHub profile today if you want. It's not hard to do. And then now you're part of this developer social network. And I guess now we can turn it over, Mustafa, to what this mini app template is, maybe what a README is, so they can
yeah,
understand what's going on here. And then we can move to cursor and what we need to do to clone.
yeah, it's the, like, best practice of each repository is to have this readme file that explains what this project is about, how you can run this, and how to contribute this, etc. uh, our template is also have some extra information to be used by LLMs as well. So it really like explains all the components, like just on a bit high level, but like touches on the each component and the functionalities, the features. You know, it has the UP provider integration, so it can be used on the grid. It has the NVO integration, so it can be like you can perform search on universal profiles as well. And these informations are not just for developers who is visiting this repository, but for LLM as well. So when you clone this repository, and if your idea is using some type of search functionality, LLM can grab the information from here, because now it is aware that it is already available in this repository, that search functionality. So it can grab this component and either update or like use the same code and implement that feature you want. So it's a good practice at like, especially in recent times, that a lot of people are using these LLM tools. Like having a well written README file is very crucial, I would say. Even though there is a good like features on Cursor that scans your code and creates rules around. We'll touch on that in a second, but it's still a good practice to have a well-written README file. So visiting like visitors and like LLMs can understand what's going on within this project.
Yeah, I want to add, if you are a community member for any community, it doesn't matter, but because we're specific to Luxo now, if you jumped on, you found the Luxo GitHub right now, you could see all the public repositories that are open source. You could look at all the README files. You could get a sense for what's happening in each one of these repositories. As you can see, we're just looking at the Next.js mini app template right now, but there's other templates. There's other projects, project repos there that you could take a peek at, and you could get a sense for what's happening and how code is being maintained. And it pulls back that veil of magic a little bit and see that this is actually, it's work that's being done all the time. And these README files are invaluable because they'll give you a sense for what's there. I just wanted to add that, Mustafa.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, good addition. So yeah, I think we can switch over to
Yep.
Cursor now.
Yep. Sounds good.
So I've already have the repository cloned here, but let me go back and
Okay. So hold
okay.
on. For anyone who is just going to wants to rewind that session,
Yeah.
Mustafa very quickly there in the terminal created a folder. All he did was he's using the command line interface to do things that you might do by right clicking and adding folders to your directory, right, to your desktop. He was just doing everything from the command line. So I don't want that to feel scary. You could easily add the folder directly from the desktop with a right click if you wanted to, right?
Yeah.
I just want to put that in there.
Yeah. So for having this project on your local meaning for GitHub or for using Git is we call cloning. So we need to clone this repository to our local folders. So we just copy this URL that helps us to clone this repository. And in the terminal, of course, you have to have Git installed on your machine so you can perform the clone. And we just do git clone and the git URL we have, and boom, we have the repository now cloned into our local computer. Now I'm going to navigate into this folder that I just cloned, and I'm going to open this folder in Cursor.
If you're thinking, oh my God, he just typed a bunch of things. Again, I'm just assuming beginner or non-technical. Don't even worry about it. Every one of those commands, if you prompted an LLM right now and said, I don't understand how to do this, explain me line for line the command line, right, that I need, the commands I need to enter to make this happen, the LLM will explain to you line over line what you need to happen. what needs to happen, or you could just go back and watch what Mustafa just did. Don't get tripped up by the basic command line stuff at the beginning, because once you have this set up, you'll find it's extraordinarily powerful.
Yeah. So far, all we did is actually copying this project into our computer and opening it inside of this program called Cursor, which we will investigate and use it.
Absolutely.
So yeah, and we can of course preview the files. That's the main reason why we are using the IDE, and it can on the README we can see how it should be installed, how it should be run to be like see the live version, like the running the application, and where should we open the on the browser to see the running application. And before doing that, with Cursor, to be able to work efficiently and be more like juicing more good stuff from the LLM, we need to do certain stuff on Cursor. And the first thing is generating the rules of for this project specifically. So for Cursor, generating rules means it is creating rules around the existing code and components. And when you ask changes in the future, it references to the current version and the knowledge that it has from that rules, and applies the changes based on those rules. So if you want to name your variables in a certain way, you can generate a rule. Then when you ask for a change that requires a new variable, it will apply that naming rule from the rule you have created. So it's basically a framework for you to how LLM should perform its or execute code generation basically.
Yep. And looking at the screen that Mustafa has there, he's looking at Cursor. You can go. Cursor is a development environment that you can download today. You can download it for free. On the left side is just the file structure. That's the file tree, right? That's all that is. Each one of those carrots will expand down. You can see what's inside. It's obviously best, as Bertrand said, if you understand why things are placed where they are, right? That's part of the vibe learning, right? You don't just want to like blindly go through this, but that's the file tree. In the middle is actually where the file is. So you can see Mustafa's looking at the README, but if he clicked on any other file, he could also open up that file and view what's happening. And you'll see once the code starts generating that you'll see lots of code files open, and you'll actually see the changes coming in. And then all the way to the right where it says chat, there are multiple selections you can have. Right now it's the agent mode, but you can also do ask. And I believe it says manual under there and background. You don't have to pay attention to manual or background for now, but agent and ask are ones you should probably pay attention to. Agent, it's going to make changes to the code base for you. It's going to suggest these, right? It's going to suggest these things. And ask is more, it's not going to make any changes to the code base, but you can ask it questions and it will try to answer for you. You can also choose the LLM model. You can see where it says Claude 4 Sonnet. You can make choices, and if you want to try to work with ChatGPT or any of the other models that are inside of Cursor, you can find them there. And this window, this prompt window, is actually where you're going to do a lot of damage as someone, if you don't have a technical background, or even if you do, this is where all the magic happens. This is where you're going to use natural language to prompt the LLM. Now, what Mustafa is talking about is actually now setting up this environment so you can be dangerous. So because this is a mini app template that already has components that are configured, you can see there's the Lukso profile, the profile search, a donate sample component, right? When Mustafa generates the cursor rules, it's actually going to learn from those components, and it's going to assist you in developing Luxo-based components going forward. So I think that sets the stage here, Mustafa, if you want to generate cursor rules. And then after that, we can go to the settings and just show off any documentation, extra documentation we might want to add.
Yeah, sure. So for creating the cursor rules on chat, we just do the slash, and it's here generate cursor rules. So let's do that.
Bertrand had to answer the question. Rob said, "Are there pros and cons of using Cursor versus Remix?" And Bertrand actually answered it. Said Remix is limited to Solidity smart contracts, right? Cursor is generalized, is going to be your front end, your back end, and you can absolutely create a smart contract environment here. Okay.
So we can on certain models we can also preview the thinking process, like how the LLM is processing your prompt. And here we can see that the user is asking me to generate cursor rules, and it basically goes these items one by one. It's a Lukso blockchain libraries UP provider. There is a wallet provider component. Since we haven't installed the packages, so there are some lint errors, but I think it will just ignore those for now. And finally, it creates this strategy in the end, like a rule about the project structure, rule about Luxo specific development patterns, a rule about the React and TypeScript practices, and a rule about handling blockchain wallet connections. So it's starting to create those files one by one, just right here. So right now it creates this project structure. Here we see Luxo development is also created.
So if you're watching and you're following along, you can see that the LLM is working and adding these rules just to aid it in development going forward. And Mustafa's not pressing any buttons at the moment. He's letting the rules run. Yeah, hands off, man. It's like
Yeah.
riding a bike. You're doing tricks. Now, you might say, this is boring. I'm not seeing anything on the screen. But what this is doing is this is configuring this development environment to really understand how to develop within the context of a mini application for universal everything. Like it is, we're optimizing this development environment for that very specific purpose. That is what's happening right now.
May I have a question?
Yes, please.
I mean, I don't want to be too critical, but why the rules are not included by default in the template, if I may ask?
That's a good question. It is like always the models and the cursor, how they are generating the project rules is very changing rapidly. Like a couple weeks ago it used to generate only single file for the whole project. Right now it's able to create multiple files for like component specific rules almost. So yeah, we could include a general rule, but how Cursor is handling the project with their system prompts and everything is changing very rapidly. So yeah, maybe we should have actually we already have it on the README. So we added this cursor tip, like you can rename this README file as repo.cursor rules. So this README file becomes a rule. So we actually like technically we already have it, but for the generate like auto generated rules, yeah, as I said, it's being improved very rapidly. So it's a better practice to let user run this command on their local and generate the rules at the best circumstances.
Okay, because it depends on the model, but it's just asking the question because scaffold this as cursor rules included by default in the template,
Hmm.
and I've not asked them same question, so I feel I will also ask them the same question to see how they think about it. But I feel Git would be a good way to see the history of how Cursor has adapted their rules also.
Oh,
So
yeah.
having the rules registered, at least the default rules from from the default model of Cursor or from the at least saying like that's the recommendation of model in the template, and that's the default rule generate at this time by this model. And then trying to follow up with updating the rule in the template as long as soon, or at least when you generate it again. We will have an history also of learning from the evolution of the rules instead of just saying, I mean, I could, in other way around, the opposite would be to put it in the Git inner and saying, these rules are automatically generated. So because it's automatically generated, we should inner them in Git. And because it should be generated by the end user. But in some way, I was thinking about it could save some tokens to people if there are already some rules included, so they don't have to. I mean, if they want to save on some token, because you have not token yet talked yet about the cost of using centralized LLM.
Oh yeah.
Compared to decentralized LLM, if I may say, or locally run LLM. So
Yeah, definitely. Like at this point, I feel like I'm have like paid interns, like couple of paid interns.
So yeah, so what Bertrand's alluding to there is every time that you make a call to the LLM through its API, right? Let's just say every time you ask the server, you ask a waiter to go to the kitchen to get you food and bring it back to you sitting at the table, it's going to be a little bit of a service fee, right? You're going to tip it. And like that tip, let's consider that the kind of cost of using the LLM. And we call those are like tokens, right? It costs a certain amount for the LLM to give you information. And you can operate freely inside of these models, like Cursor has a free plan. I think many of them have free plans. But if you're really going to ask a lot of these things, it starts costing you money. So I guess, Bertrand, that's a good point. If you had, if these were already generated, then maybe that would save some the end user some money. But then we would have to make calls to it frequently to update that template, right?
yeah,
but that's just what it
I
is.
mean, it's kind of I like to apply the don't repeat yourself principle. And so imagine every user running the same rule generation. It's kind of the reverse of open source, like every user, maybe every user will not have the same. It's also kind of the packagism, like a package lock, like some saying like we don't put package lock. I mean, we don't even have explained yet what is package lock and this kind of yarn lock, etc. But some say, we want to allow developer to not use the same package manager. That's why we don't put package lock into the repository. And then it makes some nightmares because every user install different version of the package, and so they don't have the same behavior, and they have bugs that they would not have if the version of package would have been locked.
Yeah.
So I feel having it's more like from my dev background, having a reproducible environment. I feel it's always much safer, and also in demos or in workshop, like in classroom. If you can be guaranteed to reproduce the same environment every time on every computer, at least to start with, it gives more trust in some way in it, instead of saying, oh, but you can generate and let's see what happens. Because here you're not even sure that if I run the same commands in you, even with the same model, I will get the same output.
No, it's kind of rolling the dice. You're absolutely right. There's actually probably going to be minor differences. So you're bringing a seasoned developer's perspective here, and I won't call you a boomer. I'll say that it's a good point and it's something we should consider. But for the context of this little demonstration, this is how you would generate cursor rules. And you could technically do this for any now repository that you have. You could generate cursor rules for it, which is interesting. All
yeah,
right.
and then that's how we learn together also. That was
Yeah,
we prefer to see it in a positive way than in a negative
for sure.
negative way, like something constructive and not destructive.
For sure. All right. So now that we have the cursor rules, Mustafa,
Yep.
do we want to go and just go into the settings and show where we could add further documentation if we wanted to add them?
Yeah. So in cursor, we can go to settings by clicking here, and in the rules. So we already created this project specific rules, so it is automatically popped up here. But you can have more general rules as well for like all the projects you are working on. So you can add rules to here. It lives actually the inside of the folder that this cursor is set it up, and you can update and change memories while you are working with the project. You will see new entries are coming up here. It uh, saves certain checkpoints to its memories. So when you refer to some old changes, it can get back to here and understand the reason why it did that change basically. And for documentation, this is one of the coolest parts. And so if you have the documentation ready for your product or your tech you are using, you can add the documentation by just providing the URL. It will index all the pages inside of that URL, and when you ask a certain feature or uh, example from the documentation, it will make a search inside of this repository, or sorry, the documentation, and will reply to you or generate the code based on the knowledge it has from the documentation.
Now, when that says Luxo docs, Mustafa, what did you add there? What specific URL did you add for the Luxo
Yeah,
docs?
yeah. Let's add it together. So I've removed all the documentations here. So all I provide is will be the docs.luxo.tech. So when I add this documentation and name it as Luxo, so it will start indexing, and yeah, it's already done. Let me close this. So all the guides, all the text, code examples, and pages we have in our documentation is now indexed into cursor. So let's say if I ask something about the key manager, if our documentation is up to date, we will get most up to date information. So whatever you have on your documentation should be up to date. So LLM could be able to help you with up to date information.
Hmm. And here is also where you could, if you wanted to, you could go right to our GitHub into the LSPs and you could grab the standards themselves and upload those as additional docs. Should you be working with the Luxo standard proposals here, you could grab those as well. So you would have our documentation as well as the actual code instantiation of the standard. So you can really build out a pretty large documentation library that can be indexed and then what do I want to say, referenced by the LLM as it works to write code. So there's really a lot that can happen here. So this is where, again, not to be overwhelmed, you're setting this environment up. Notice we haven't built anything yet, but I think we're finally at the point now where we might be able to have a little bit of fun. What do you think?
Yeah, let's install this project, I would say, or let's run the project. Let's
Yeah.
check.
So what are we doing now? Let's explain that, because Bertrand got into packages and what is actually happening there. So what are we
I,
doing when we actually install the project now?
So
I
for
spoiled
run,
it.
sorry, sorry.
No, go ahead, Mustafa. I say I spoiled it. Like,
No, it's good. You're good. They call that foreshadowing.
yeah.
So as we have on our README file, to run this project, we first need to install the dependencies. Dependencies are the functions or the code pieces we grab from other places and put it together in our code base. So to be able to run this project, first we need to gather all the package we used. So for that, we need to run this command, yarn install, and it will install all the packages that we defined within the project.
Mustafa,
Yeah.
Bertrand, is there only one package manager out there, or are there many? Right?
Some people would say even too many.
Yeah. So this is using Yarn, but there's NPM, there's Node Package Manager, there's Bun, just three that I know I see out there frequently, but there's more, right? So
PNPM.
yeah,
You're right.
NPM. So don't get overwhelmed by that. But this mini app template here requires Yarn, so you'll have to install Yarn, but you can go to the Yarn documentation to do it.
And look at the package lock system and the package lock file, because here you have a yarn lock. So if you use something else than yarn, it may not look at the yarn lock file, and you may install versions that are different from the version locked into the yarn lock file.
Mm.
And what I like apart from Bun, is that the log file is a text file. So you can even look at the content of the log file to check which version is locked in the yarn log file. Bun is a binary file, so you cannot directly look at it. Apart if you read binary format of Bun, that could be possible. But I think it doesn't exist so much. But remember me, like when I've been learning programming in university, I've been told that one of the professor had a colleague that was able to understand the hexadecimal code of assembly. So you could show him bytecode in assembly language of Intel, and maybe not Intel, but another processor, and he was able to explain you what does this hexadecimal code.
Wow.
And I hope maybe someone at Ledger could do the same with hexadecimal bytecode, but with all the people that have left, I'm not sure that there is someone there.
No,
To
it's
be
like
able,
Sanskrit. There's almost no
yeah.
one that can read it and write it anymore.
But that's how they explain what is blind signing in their presentation, and that's where they explain you should understand, at least not you, but the wallet should explain you what are you signing. So you should not in a blockchain transaction, you should not do kind of vibe signing, if I may say.
Yes, don't vibe sign. Bad news. All right. So when Mustafa did Yarn install, it took the reference for everything, for all the dependencies, all the little pieces of code that existed in other places, and brought it in now to your project, right? Imagine we had a reference for the type of engine you needed in your car, but the engine wasn't there yet. So now we grabbed the engine and just installed it in the car. That's effectively what just happened. We went and grabbed all these little pieces that we need in order for this thing to work. And that package manager is able to then go grab all those references, all those little pieces, and bring it together. So now it's operational. So once you've done the Yarn install, now you have a working project. Now it's about getting it to a local environment so you can see it.
Yeah. So since we installed the dependencies, now we can run the development server by running this yarn dev command, and it will provide us to an URL that we can preview our project. And let's do exactly that.
So now, just to clarify, are you looking at when this comes up, are you looking at the production version of this, or are you looking at the testing version of this that you're running locally?
It's if the testing version,
Yeah, that's
because
good.
if
I'm
I
glad you passed the test, Mustafa.
yeah.
No, this is just a testing version. So like this again, this is not going to be usable by other people, but this is for you now. You can see what is happening with your project as you begin development on it. And what's nice is because this is a mini app, I'm going to jump the shark a little bit here. We are going to take that local host. You can then add it to your grid. And if you add that local host reference to your grid, now you will have a testing environment for a mini app ready to go.
Yeah. And if you run this template outside of a grid, as I did, you will see that there is an error raised automatically. So no UP found, because this template is built for to be lived in a grid, right? So we won't have this error once we put this application onto the grid. And as you said, Greg, if I provide you with this URL, you wouldn't see this application at all.
No.
So this is only for me. And
Apart if you run it yourself at the same address.
Yeah.
yeah,
And that could be even more confusing.
that's another thing. Yeah. So yeah, we used to not allow local host URLs on the grid, and thankfully now it's available, so we can directly add our mini app onto our grid by using the iframe button on our new grid element. So when I add this local host URL, voila. Okay, so
Make it big.
okay,
Make it four. Yeah. 4 squares.
okay.
Make it American.
And notice here, Mustafa can confirm it, or if he's got the little play button, the
Yep.
enable preview,
Yep.
right, he doesn't actually have to add this to his grid either. He can still see the live production, how it would work
Yeah.
with that nice preview feature from Universal Everything.
Yep. I can play it around like without saving the transaction, sending the transaction. So it's a good new feature that has been added. But since I'm okay with the how it's working, let's send the transaction and save the mini app into our grid.
Okay, well, he's saving the mini app very quickly because now we're at the point where we're going to spend a little bit of time here live prompting and just see what happens, see what we can one shot. Pitfalls, privacy, and just being a smart developer. And if you are someone who's like, I'm not even a developer, and somehow, some way I've been able to follow along and get this done, be aware of environment variable. Be aware of the .env files. Those things should not become public. Leave those things on your local machine. Like, you need to pay attention to this stuff. So like, you are not trying to add sensitive information to your repositories in a public way where it could get exposed. Second thing, trust, but you've got to verify. It's going to write good. It'll write code for you, but you're going to want to verify that it's behaving the way you think it is. So like, there has to be some level of like skepticism with what is produced for you. And lastly, you have to have the ethics around just general licensing of code. Is it open source? Is it not? Like, you're not just going to take a screenshot of a private code base and say, replicate the UI for me, because LLMs will do a pretty good job, but that is not ethical. Like, this is not an ethical thing to do. Don't do that. So I just want to say that that's my little warning. Bertrand, Mustafa, you guys want to add anything else before we get to the live prompting?
I 100% agree. Those are great highlights.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm even surprised that we talk about that. I mean, I'm happily surprised because, I mean, it's not because it's technically possible. That's usually what I try to explain. It's not because it's technically possible that it is ethically possible. But it seems ethical is also like very subjective to people. So what seems ethical to someone may not seem ethical to someone else. So even if it doesn't look ethical to you, some other people could even use the same word saying, "Ah, it seems ethical to me."
That's right.
So that's why even using the same words may have a different meaning. So that's why sometimes I ask people to explain to me what means ethical for them.
Yeah, absolutely. We've had this conversation. So I want to make note here as well. In a GitHub repository is going to be a license file. It should contain a license file, and that will tell you under what terms can you use the code that is in there. So that's something, again, we don't have to dig deep today, but that's something that you want to pay attention to, and that's whether you know, can you use the code that's provided for you in an open source way, or you should attribute it, or should you actually, are you going to owe royalties if you copy it, or is that even possible, right? So just pay attention to that as you get going, but we don't want to bog you down with the terrible details today. This can be pushed on to more forum talk afterwards. But here, Alts, I don't know if you've been following along or you've been typing, but what I want to do now is we're set to start vibing. But myself, Mustafa, and Bertrand, we already have our ideas, but it'd be great for you to shoot some ideas and let's see what we can get the LLM to do.
I had quick, just backing up a little bit. Like, what was like you said that you could risk exposing information from an ENV file? Like, what type of information would be exposed there?
Okay, so you know how a lot of people have refined burnt pics, right? And they do it kind of in this automated way. Well, in order to sign those transactions, you need to have your private key.
Okay.
Right? It's pulling your private key to sign the transactions for you. Now, if you somehow, some way expose that because you had your social developer profile, your GitHub, and you were proud of some change you made to this repository that allows you to automatically refine your burnt pics, and you push your private key up, now it's exposed. It's there, baby.
Yeah.
Right? Like, bad news. And there's other things too. Like, it could be a token where someone, it could be if you're building a project, you have a database filled with information, and you expose a token that allows anyone to access that information. Those are the concerns that we want to be aware of. Those are just a couple of many concerns we'd want to be aware of. Okay.
Cool.
Yeah.
And so if it's a good template, the all this like a privacy concern file should be already in Git inure. So even the newbie will not by default commit this file because it's automatically inure. So that's why also when you begin, it's good to use a template that gives you the good practices by default are included, instead of just starting from scratch and having to learn it, kind of say, the hard way, the paper book way.
Yeah, the git ignore file, you can actually see it right there. It's communicating the types of files that we want to ignore and not be pushed up, right? We don't want this stuff to go up to a public repository, right?
Yeah.
And like Bertrand said, good repositories, good developers are going to put this stuff in here, good templates, so you don't get burned if you're a newbie.
So, for example, the non-modules also, a lot, I've seen so many, like GitHub repositories that push the non-modules.
Yeah, very heavy.
Yeah, so that's why I was saying, the build, like everything that is generated exactly the same way should not be, I mean, sometimes there is a discussion, but should not be in Git, because there's also Git, I mean, as a size of storage size, the more you store in Git, the longer it takes to clone it and also to maintain it, and it takes more resources. So think about the planet resources that we can save.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, after all this laborious foreplay, we're here at the moment. So let's let's see what the LLMs can do now that we've set this environment up and we have a template and we have a local, we have it in the universal everything grid. So let's go. What's a Alt? You got any ideas?
No.
Anyone
Haven't gotten
listening,
to
got an
that
idea?
creative
Post
part
it.
yet.
Yeah. Anyone listening, got an idea for something we could try to one shot? What would you love to see? Don't tell me like a very complicated smart contract implementation, but give me some ideas. If you got any, post them in the comments. I'll give you 45 seconds to catch up to this. And then we're just going to start going. If I had a timer, I'd put it on right now. Actually, I think I do. Hold on. And 30 seconds. I got sick of the timer after 5 seconds. All right. So let's give it a shot. I was waiting for ideas and no one's coming with them quickly. And I don't have the patience to wait. And by the time they catch up to the lag in the feed, they'll give ideas and we'll already be going. So
Okay.
So Bertrand, what do you think we should do? You got any ideas?
Yeah, but means maybe here the donation. So to make it simple, here we donate a Lix token, which is you have not even explained, but I guess it's because it's obvious, like to many people. Lix is a native token. Could we update this template to donate a LSP7 token instead of a native token?
Let's try it.
That would be too much already.
I have no idea. Let's try it. let's try it. So instead of
because I feel it's kind of minimal change.
Mm-hmm.
Like instead of transferring the native token, we transfer what other would call the ERC20 token.
Let me be like really specific here. So we're asking this. We're actually making a call. We're dealing with now a Lukso specific implementation. So we're really digging in deep here, and this is actually at the boundaries of what the LLM is probably going to be like really excellent at. Right. This is where we might uncover some inconsistencies. If Mustafa right now just said, "Hey, add text at the top that said I am the man." The LLM is going to get that and it's going to nail that for you. And you could just natural language go back and forth until it looks exactly the way that you want. All right. I just wanted to make that said. Like you want to make UI changes, it's going to be excellent at getting that done for you.
Yeah.
Can we do both?
Yeah, you can do both.
Do we have any preferences on which LSP7 token?
Let's do I don't know.
Maybe you missed transfer. We want to transfer LSP7, no? And make the transfer.
Sorry?
Yeah. At the bottom, you want to transfer.
Yeah, we want to transfer. But I guess the LLM could maybe guess it, but
be explicit.
Maybe
I prefer to be more explicit.
Maybe it asks for the contract address.
Yeah, I suppose let's provide it the contract address for the LSP7. Let's do fabs. Why not?
Okay.
So for this stuff, like the more specific you are, the better? Is it
yes.
Like typical LLM?
Exactly.
Okay.
Yes. You want to be very explicit. The more explicit you are, the better chance that it's going to be able to do what you're asking it to do. So you can see right now what Mustafa is actually doing is he's going to go and grab the contract address for the LSP7 token. And that is actually going to help the LLM specify and write, hopefully, what is a successful.
One thing is, I don't think there is a Fabs token on testnet. That's
and you're on testnet right now.
What tokens are on testnet?
We should test on testnet, of course.
Yeah. No, test in production. You go right to mainnet.
Yeah, mainnet always.
Always on mainnet. All right. Do we have what's a testnet token that exists out there? I don't even know.
Give me a sec. Let me move it. Move our app.
Maybe, but it would take us more time.
We
could deploy your own token on testnet and then donate it. If you
Um,
have some,
I'm
In
just
this
going
case,
to put
in this
this.
case here, if we don't push the changes, we can just figure out, can it identify? Could it make it
Yeah.
so you could transfer?
I was thinking of the like token of
Yeah, we're gonna see if we couldn't send fabs. We can just edit it so we could send that live token.
Mm-hmm.
ah. Oh,
We're gonna see. We're gonna guess.
Do you guys have the Fabs token contract ID?
Yeah,
but you could just deploy. I get the source. It's
yeah, I can definitely get it. Hold on.
you could
Yeah, hold on.
because I mean, if the token is if the contract of the token is published, you could get the contract of the token and then deploy it on testnet, and then you will get as many tokens as you want also.
But it would take too long. That's the
Yeah.
It
problem.
depends for who.
Take too long for me, and I'm impatient right now. Hold on. Fab's token is right here, and contract address is right here. All right, Mustafa, I'm throwing it into the private chat.
Yep.
There you go. There's a contract address.
So on mainnet or on testnet?
I'm doing it on mainnet.
Yep, we're just going to see if we can't get it to actually be able to transfer that token. Mustafa doesn't have any, so we'll see.
Yeah.
So at least it's sure it will fail if it doesn't have it.
That's right.
Yeah.
Unless I send some right to Mustafa right now.
Yeah. This profile is so random, so do not send anything to this one.
I could send you some fabs.
Okay. Now we have the contract address here.
Yep.
So transfer LSP7 tokens. Token contract address is, and I'm just going to tag the documentation because probably there's some information how to send LSP7 tokens in our
Hopefully.
documentation. So
All
hopefully.
right. Ready? Let's see how it goes.
Let's go.
But here you have not precise that it's on mainnet and not on testnet.
No, the mini app is reading the chain ID, so it doesn't have to know about if it's mainnet or testnet.
Yeah, it's reading
Okay.
chain ID through the extension or through the UP provider.
Yeah, UP provider.
Yeah, because it uses a UP provider. But I feel it's good to explain it.
Oh yeah. So far so good. It value in transfer instead of value. VM. Yeah. Okay.
It's a major changes.
Okay, what did it tell us that it did?
I want to just check the UI.
You just want to see if it works.
Yeah. Donate 1 tokens, 2 tokens.
But it doesn't even precise which token it will.
Right? It's dumb. We just told it to update the contract address. We didn't feed it anything else. But
Let's see if it tries to send a token. Yeah. Let's go.
there we go. It's now trying
A
to send
transaction
fab.
error.
Yeah,
Why?
because I
it
don't.
doesn't have any.
Yeah, I don't have any Fabs
Here,
tokens. So
send the
technically,
address to me, Mustafa, and I'll send some tokens to that address, and then you can just send them back to me, if
Sure.
if you so choose.
This is my UP address. I've sent you the same chat.
All right, let me log in, and I'll send a couple Fabs tokens, and we'll see if we can't send them back and forth real quick.
So yeah, just like how we prompted it, you can come up with an idea that requires a certain LSP7 token transfers. So you see that by just following the methods we done, inside of cursor, yeah, it's able to help you doing that at least. Not even though we might have some issues in the future. So far, we are going good.
Yeah,
But yeah,
we are not deploying this at the moment.
yeah, yeah,
But we're
yeah,
just proving that you could do it
yeah.
if you
You
were
see,
so inclined.
yeah, we didn't even read what the
Yeah.
LLM changed, what happened. We just
Just
wrote
tried
out
it.
it. Yeah,
Was that a one-shot success rate?
yeah.
It's because Craig is too
Oh yeah,
impatient.
100%. Yeah,
Because I'm impatient. We'll go back and we'll read it in a second here.
yeah,
It's
yeah. But
shoot first and understand after.
Yeah, that's how I roll, man. I go into town and I just go guns, please. And all right, I sent you 42 Fabs tokens to that
Of
address.
course.
I have to. It's the perfect number. So let's see if we can't donate. Let's see if we can't send those bad boys around. So you can see we took an existing component, prompted the LLM to change from sending the native coin of the ecosystem Lux to now sending the Fabs token, right? And
and
then you can see that I didn't.
I'm
Oh,
going to
you were
send
using the
them back
index
to you.
at me.
Yeah, I'm going to send them back to you.
Going to send them to me, and now we're going to see if we can't send the 42 Fabs. Oh, you're only sending me 12. You're going to keep some.
Come on, man.
It's for the first test. If it doesn't work this way, you don't have to send back again.
Yeah, here we go. Okay. Everything is done through the relayer here, which is great, right?
Yeah.
Stuff I didn't even have to set this thing up with any gas. It's already being subsidized.
And it shows that it send you to your address.
Yeah.
Yep, showing that it's going to me, which is great about Luxo, right?
Yeah.
It shows that it's on mainnet. Yeah.
Yep.
And,
Yeah. Yeah, I'm just not sure if I should
so
send
12
it, but
of
let's do
okay.
it.
Yes, you should send it. But we gotta prove that this works.
Or not.
Okay.
My fans.
Like drum roll. And
Okay, I'm looking. I'm checking my extension.
See a notification.
Token received.
Let's go.
Got it. Boom. Look at that. Right.
Sick.
So that was pretty exciting.
it's still rolling in the UI, if I may say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yep. So we have some hangups here in the UI. This is not perfect. We don't want to deploy this to production at the moment.
Yeah.
But the function of sending the transfer worked. So let's look at the code. What was actually updated? What did the LLM do, Mustafa?
So should we check from the differences or from the text here?
Let's read the text and then reference the differences.
All right. Let me make it bigger. So major changes.
It shows the differences also in the text.
Oh yeah, probably yeah. So we've replaced. So we are not, since we are not sending native token, we have to make a certain contract call. So instead of just send transactions, we are calling write contract, and we are using the provided LSP7 contract address, which is the FABS token. So what we are basically doing is it also includes the needed function as an ABI. This is a bit of the
hold on
Web3
right there.
info. Yeah.
What is an ABI? Because everyone's going to get tripped up on that. What is an ABI? What is that?
So smart contract itself is written in Solidity. So we need an interface to use that inside of a JavaScript file or TypeScript file. So we're just importing or hard coding this exact function from the Solidity contract. So we can use that contract method or function inside of this TypeScript file. So it automatically creates this, since it's a standard, LSP7 standard, it's already known that this method has which parameters, right? So it creates that ABI with the transfer function signature, which is what we are seeing here. So it uses that ABI, so that interface for interacting with the smart contract of FABS token.
Okay, Bertrand, you want to add anything to that, or are you satisfied?
Just to notice that you don't have to pass all the ABI of the contract, as you can see. You can be more minimalistic and just pass the ABI of the method you want to use. But for this, you need to understand to read the ABI, the content of the ABI, and you need to spot the parts that is enough to use. And I've not seen so many developers that are careful enough or minimalistic enough to just pass the ABI of the transfer they use, of the method they use. Usually, they just go to the Explorer or to the ABI generated, they put the whole ABI, and then they call the function. But here it's not a developer, it's LLM will do that, which does that, and that's who. And so it's more minimalistic to avoid, I guess, also bugs, because the less code you have, the less bugs you have also.
Yes. Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. So what else we got here, Mustafa?
So yeah, as I said, we are now interacting with a certain contract instead of just sending a transaction to the client. And as we explained with the ABI, so these are the transfer parameters we need. So sender address, a recipient address, amount, if it's an EOA, and data if we need. So we are not using any data with it. So enhanced error handling, that's bold claim, but let's see what has been done. Let's see.
I mean,
And
it worked, so it didn't need any error handling yet so far. There was
yeah,
no error.
yeah, if we were not on stream, I would already ship this on production. It would have been on live on mainnet. So yeah, and yeah, this is the place where we are calling the contract with its ABI and the amount. Yeah, the amount to string. We are not sending into an EOA with brute forcing it, so it's false, and we are not sending any data. So this is the enhanced error handling, supposedly, I guess. So bunch of ifs inside of ifs, and if it's an insufficient balance, if it's an rejected transaction is rejected by user, or
Yeah.
unknown reason, if the transaction is failed. And the
But
UI update, this is this.
if
Yeah,
I
it
may
just
say,
changed the links to tokens, so it didn't do anything. Yeah, we might be even go extra, and we might want to fetch the LSP4 metadata and get the token image, and
Let's
yeah,
do it.
yeah,
Let's
let's do it.
let's go one level deeper here. Let's go Inception.
Yeah,
yeah,
Right.
but you don't want to fix the UI issue first?
Oh, that
yeah,
it's hanging.
let's stacking. Let's. Oh, is it still hanging? Maybe it was. Oh, okay. What's the issue? Timed out. Okay.
Wait for transaction timeout while
Yeah.
waiting.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm just going to copy this.
So again, what he's doing is he's just taking the error, copying it, dumping it
Okay.
into the LLM interface here,
Is this error first?
and now asking the
Then
LLM.
update the UI with the LSP4 metadata. Since
You
I'm
pack everything in the same prompt.
yeah, why not? I mean, we already have 100% success rate with our prompt, so
I
I'm
might have
quite,
broken it into two
I'm
prompts.
quite confident about it.
I might have broken it into two prompts, but
Yeah, me too. I would work it into, but yeah, we'll
Okay,
see.
I'm going to listen to you guys then. Let's.
all right. Let's fix the error first, and then when you get the LSP4 metadata, let's theme the component with
Yeah,
the LSP4 metadata.
this happens when transaction is confirmed. Yeah, that's enough.
So what we're fixing here, what we're asking to fix, is the fact that we are getting a little spinning wheel even after the transaction was confirmed.
Yeah.
I have very low. I honestly am not very confident that the LLM is going to fix this.
Really?
My confidence is low.
Really?
Yes, yeah.
But
I
you have
always,
not even committed the first modifications.
no. We did not commit anything at this point. We are just we're just flying. We're not going best practice at this point.
Yeah, that's what I see.
So what
Yeah.
Bertrand is calling attention to is we got so excited we didn't even version control this. What we could have done is we could have made a commit after that first change to say, okay, it works. We have sent a token. We know that works. We're going to stop there and know that that works. Now we're going to try another change. And in that way, if something goes sideways, we can always revert to the last working
As
Also,
you
yeah,
explained at the beginning of the,
commit.
and then you can explain to the, before committing, you need to create a branch also.
Mm,
yeah,
yeah,
and good thing with cursor is you don't actually need to commit. You can always restore the
it's a checkpoint.
restore checkpoint. So if you are not happy with the result of your prompt, you can restore checkpoint or simply click the text input, and it will like redo the whole process from the checkpoint. It's saved. So yes, for better safety, it's good to commit once the milestone is reached for your project. But you can always also restore checkpoint from locally as well. So you can always go few steps back if it went too crazy. So again, it generates lots of text, but
Let's
yeah,
see if it works.
we'll just check if it works.
I know that we're running close to the end of the time. So I want to make sure that we're transaction error exception code. See, as I told you, we're gonna start getting problems.
Had to mess with it.
I knew fixing that error was going to be an issue. That's where we're going to get into a debugging session fast.
Yeah, really. Yeah, maybe. Yeah. It's because I tried to send it to myself.
Okay.
I haven't. Yeah.
Okay. Maybe it did work then.
Yeah.
And you
We
could
will.
explain why it would fail if you try to send to yourself.
Yeah, I tried to send it to myself, so it's not possible.
And what's the problem with sending token to yourself?
I mean, the ledger does not work that way. I guess, right? I cannot send it.
I mean,
If I couldn't
in
send.
every other EVM, even every EVM chain I've tried, you can send token to yourself and they doesn't make any issue. So just try to understand. I guess the reasoning would be that it doesn't make sense to send token to yourself in something, but I just like to make it specific to Luxo. That's the first time I see it doesn't work when you send token to yourself.
Yeah, it's an unexpected. We're going to pile that on the list of things we can answer after the fact in the forum, and we can start to have the chats about it, right? And I'm going to set that forum up now while you guys are going. But let's try to send that because I want to keep it to about 90 minutes. And we're like running right up against it. So let's see, because I want to try to theme this component and see what we get.
Okay. Okay. Now we don't have that error, which is good.
Yeah.
Let's send the transaction and see.
See if it hangs. Again, my bet would be it's still going to hang. The UI is going to hang. If it fixed it, then
that maybe what you could do, not for this time, but kind of on-chain betting on the test of the vibe coding.
Dang.
Like you try it first without reading, and then you bet will it succeed or not.
yeah, that would be funny. We gotta get live betting rounds on whether it's going to work. I knew that wasn't going to work, Mustafa. I know that wasn't going to work because I was fighting that same problem the other day.
No, really?
Yeah. So I had to fight that issue.
Okay.
So
and you can explain maybe why you have found the solution, or
we do not have the time to do that in the allotted time today. I feel like I want to give people, that's the stake. Let's keep the steak for the next time. And now let's give them the sugar. Oh,
we haven't received We have not timed out, but somehow we
So
couldn't
it
catch the
worked.
confirmation, right?
It worked or not? Because yeah, we didn't have the error.
Hold
Yeah,
on.
we haven't received the error.
I'm
I mean,
checking out
we
my.
have a timeout of 60 seconds and we are looking for one confirmation.
Oh, I received the tokens.
Yeah.
And you receive the token. So it
Oh,
worked.
logging the successful submission. So instead of updating the UI, maybe, yeah, you see transaction
Yeah,
submitted,
it
but
logged
timed out
everything.
waiting for confirmation. Yeah,
Ah,
okay.
but
So
timeout
it
waiting
just,
for confirmation.
Like
yeah,
a little bit of a fallback there. If
yeah,
it
yeah,
doesn't
yeah,
work,
Yeah, but
we'll update
I
the UI.
mean, if you don't look at the console for the end user, it works.
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
yeah,
We haven't seen any error, right? So,
yeah.
You
yeah,
don't see any error anymore, and it's not.
It's not spinning.
yeah.
So that's a way to solve the error. It's just hide it.
Yeah. Okay. So just hide it. That's one way. All right. Let's go for the theming here now. You don't have to
Oh,
send me them all back. This is that's
okay. No, no, first, yeah, yeah, let's team it and then I will
I,
send it.
I want to
Yep,
I want to try to theme it now
yep,
because
yep,
we got to show the power of what an LLM can really do from a like a UI perspective. Let's
yep.
see what it thinks. And we'll make this the last change and then we'll close up shop and we'll revisit this in the next stream. And in the next stream we'll do a quick little recap of how to get set up again and then we'll go deeper doing something else. So let me
So,
set up the board.
so yeah, I'm prompting it to update the UI with the LSP4 metadata, which holds the token related metadata like of the LSP7 collection, such as the ticker, the image, the description of the collection or the token. So, and I provided the documentation with just mentioning it, and we should be able to see the image of the token, um, image
The name?
and the
Huh?
ticker, yeah,
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 or
sure.
name, yeah,
symbol.
name,
The
image
symbol.
name,
Symbol
and
more
the
than
symbol of the token.
Yeah.
not the name. Yeah, I could see.
Let's not waste any token. Okay, image name and the symbol of the token.
It's kind of in some way I feel it's kind of a Russian roulette. Huh? Like
Like normally, I would go into the donate component and run the prompt from there.
Yes.
But I have, yeah, we at this point we are so good and so confident that we don't even care which component we are on.
Yeah, I would normally be. Yep, I would pay attention to that because that's when you run into problems if you uh,
Yeah,
are in the wrong component and the chats gets long.
yeah.
that.
So
And that's how you see the expertise, I feel. You see the expertise when you are able to debug problem. If everything works at the first try, I feel you cannot call that expertise. It's just that you, at least people could feel that it's just lucky and you did not know even what you are talking about.
yeah, thankfully it's smarter than me, so it navigated into the correct component. So it makes the changes into donate.tsx, which is the correct one.
That's a good quality test also.
Yep. Okay, load in token info, lots of changes.
Because I was also happily surprised that even if you do typo when typing, you can still understand what you are talking about.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. It's also I also like to like inspect the thought process of the LLM.
Yep.
So you see that on which part of the prompt it gets start to hallucinate, so you can quickly edit your prompt and correct that section, so it like in the next iteration it does not do that behavior. uh it's still doing something, I guess, right?
Yeah, it's thinking
Ah,
hard.
there was a question also, maybe that another
Popped up.
time.
It was Lisa Marie said hi.
No, before like Rob, how can you test the grid
How
tab
can you get the
to?
grid tab to appear on your testnet up?
What
That's a good
Not
question,
fully
Rob.
sure.
I'm not sure what you were experiencing. We can take that one offline.
So again, lots of explanations, but
Let's see what happened.
okay, it gets the name. I saw the name, but I did not see the.
This is where we might be running in. Oh, it says
Oops.
donate one fabs now.
Yeah.
We're
Yeah.
missing the images. It's not pulling it correctly.
Yeah. Should
Yeah,
be.
but you have not defined any space to display the images also. So you have not been enough specific, huh?
Maybe.
Enough explicit.
I'm wondering if the cursor rules around maintaining the Luxo components are actually getting in the way here. What do you think?
Let's. Yeah, I'm not really sure why we are not seeing it.
But so far, yeah, instead of this, maybe we could display the.
So do this, because you can do this. I want to just show that you can do this. Go back to the component.
Yeah.
Go back to your act. No, go to the universal everything.
Oh.
You can actually take a screenshot if you want to, and you can feed that for context. You could say, hey, here's what I'm actually seeing. Use the image for reference.
That's cool.
Right? So you can actually add that to your context window, and you can say, you can paste that screenshot in there.
Yeah.
And say, hey, this is what I'm seeing. I'm not seeing the image that I would expect.
Yeah, I am not seeing the image.
Damn, all bolds too.
And
Yes,
even
sir.
if you
Yes. It messed up our prompting percentage. I'm not seeing the image in this window.
the token image.
Why?
Why?
Yeah, why?
Why did
Because
you
it will
fail
tell
me?
you. It will explain it.
If you fix this.
Oh, he's even offering an incentive now.
Yeah.
All right.
You know, it's there is also a new hack that people adds ultra think inside of their prompts, so it performs better.
What?
It's like ultra think about this solution or something like that. Like I haven't tried it yet, but it's a real buzz, you know.
Interesting.
Yeah.
It's not loading. Let me debug this. Huh?
I want to plug here. This is really what you can do, even to supercharge your cursor environment. Even after you feed it all the context that you think, you add the docs, you add the standards, you could then go to the Luxo Assistant and ChatGPT, and you can use the Luxo Assistant if you wanted to brainstorm maybe project architecture, how you might put something together, and then upload that output as a documentation to further add rules to your document. So you can use all of these available tools that are available for you to supercharge this development environment.
You know what? I think I might understand the issue. This is the image of this token is a base 64, like it's fully on chain. It's not IPFS.
Well, we're going to find out soon.
Yeah, let's see.
Are those seagulls?
Wow.
Yep. I've had the headset.
But he tried to use IPFS here
Yeah, you see, it's still
for the image URL.
It has a fallback now, though, which is available, a beautiful gradient avatar with token symbol and first letter. So if there's no image available, it's going to fall back to a gradient with a letter. I mean, it told you what it was going to do, right?
Yeah,
so,
that's right. Yeah.
Okay. So you can see maybe difficult. We're not pulling that symbol, right? It told us what it's going to do.
Yeah, but I think it's if we would pick an token contract that has the image as an IPFS upload, so image file, instead of like encoded actual on-chain base 64 thing, you know, I think it would work. But maybe
I think even if you let's do this. Take a screenshot of. Can you get the Fabs token?
Yeah, I've got this. Like I've checked this.
Does
Yeah,
it have to be
like,
hosted somewhere? You can't just
no, I'm
feed it
saying
stuff, right?
do the down and dirty. Like this is a super down and dirty
Well, I
way.
know, but I'm saying like even that, can it use that, or
I don't know.
does the image need to be hosted somewhere? You could just like maybe link the URL to the from the image.
Can I use this image? Oh, okay. Let's see. So just okay. I can just provide the URL. But it would be like kind of cheating, hard
Yeah.
coding.
No, provide the URL for the
Yeah.
source image for
Okay,
the.
let's let's lower
It's
the.
vibe cheating.
Yeah, we're gonna cheat.
Please use this APF image from this URL. Use the.
Yep, perfect.
And without the at, no?
I'm going to reject the previous change, by the way.
All right, this is going to be the last change, and then we can pick back up and do. This has been just how to set it up, how to maybe think about it, how to make some minor changes to an existing component, but we can actually go deeper and try to really experiment the next time. Who knows? I don't know. Build a snake game, see if we can get it operational on testnet.
Yep. Don't save.
Is it working? I don't know. Oh,
Let's go.
damn. Let's go. So now you're donating Fabs token,
Yeah.
right?
We know that it's Fabs token from the image, not from the contract address.
Not from the don't trust the contract. Just trust the image. That could be spoofed
Trust the
anywhere.
image. Yeah. Just trust me.
But we know that it works. We've tested it. We've sent these tokens back and forth. Right? This stuff works.
Yep. And I'm
If
going
you try to send 129, it's definitely not working.
Yeah.
But 29 might work. Let's see. Do you have that
I don't
many
think
left?
you even have that many. I think you have like
Oh.
25.
I think I have 25, right? Yeah.
This guy trying to get the transaction to fail.
Mission accomplished.
Reject that thing.
Yeah.
Reject that thing. All right. So in reverting that transaction, now if he wants to send, I like how you did it the hard way. I was going to enjoy you. 24, you're going to keep one.
Yeah, I'm just edging.
Now it's reverting. What is going on?
What?
Oh, because you're trying to send it to you again.
Again.
Silly
me.
You're going so fast.
Yeah.
There you go. Now we got the transaction going through.
And why 24 and not 25?
Because he wants to keep
some.
He wants one of his 700 Mustafa profiles to be populated with the token.
Yeah.
All right. Then let's wait for the confirmation. I'll see it on my side. I guarantee. I don't think anything broke.
Yeah, it might take a minute since we have the.
It'll take a minute to stop rolling and say, I'm too impatient to wait for the confirmation. So
timeout. Yeah.
I will just say it worked.
All right. I received them. I've got them. But you can see that the UI is going to wait the 60 seconds and then fall back.
Yeah.
So we can all sit here breathlessly and wait for 60 seconds for it to fall back, or we can just know that it's going to happen.
Yeah, it happened.
You can just, we said the last change. You can just ask to lower the
timeout
fallback to 30 seconds instead of 60 seconds.
Yeah.
Or you fool the user, you make it a couple milliseconds, and boom, that's how fast our chain finalization is.
That's what Americans say: fake it until you make it.
That's right. Don't look under the hood. All right. Let's see. Okay. I'm working on the background to get this up. Okay. So if you have been following along today while we breathlessly wait for this transaction to come through, Mustafa, I'm going to take your screen down just for a hot
Yeah.
minute. I'm going to put this one up here. If you go to Common Ground and you go to Curia right here, this application that Florian has been building within Common Ground that he actually broke out and untethered. So you'll be able to access this actually not even within Common Ground, but right now, if you go to Common Ground in the Luxo server, there are these boards, and one is the Vibe Learning board. So really, come here, share your projects, ask questions. We'll talk about it. Try to get everybody here and try to build a community of people who are experimenting, and then let's see what we can build together. This was actually a pretty fun little session here. I realized it was slow to start. Next time, we'll spend maybe 15 minutes going over the basics again, just to get everybody back to the start. And then, like I said, let's try to build something and learn along the way. Maybe a snake game, right? Or something. You know, you get a little badge at the end. Who knows? Mustafa, did that come back? Did it finalize?
No, something went broke probably. So
Something broke. All right.
it's probably me rejecting or trying to send it to myself and messing up with the whole flow. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. So again, this is on the Curia board. You can come here. You can check out Vibe Learning. I already share your projects with us. Once everybody, if we can build some capacity, then maybe we can operate on GitHub. Now that would be a level up for a lot of non-technical people. But for now, this is a great opportunity. You can see people actually joining in real time. Rob just jumped onto Vibe Learning right here. Right. And this is actually kind of cool. So you can see who's on what board and what people are touching. And Florian added Clippy. Remember Clippy?
Yeah.
From the old Microsoft, a nice little assistant to help you out if you have a question. Okay, so I think that brings us pretty much to the end. We went a little bit longer than I would have anticipated, but I think it was worth it. Closing thoughts. Alts, I'm going to go to you first as the person who's been following along this whole time. What do you think?
I mean, from the non-tech side of things, yeah, it seems a bit overwhelming at first. Like a lot of it's kind of over my head, but like just being able to see once you kind of get the basics down and kind of how that relationship works with the AI, with the LLM, right? Like, not that bad. Like the 30,000 foot flyover, right? But like, it's not as daunting as I thought it would be. I mean, really, it's like if you ever get kind of bogged down or lost, you can just run over to a different LLM and be like, hey, help me, navigate this LLM that I'm on, which is pretty cool. I like the fake it till you make it. The just caution of the wind. It's like I would do improv, right? Like I love improv. I think vibe coding is kind of like improv too. It's just like cool, yeah. Let's just keep going. We'll just we'll cross that bridge when we get there, kind of thing. So I dig it. I really dig it. Yeah. I like it. Kind of inspires me to want to get that base down so I can kind of experiment and play and create some stuff. Because even what we made today was super simple, but like, man, that would have, imagine doing that on my own. Like, I'd still be on the first line of code trying to figure that out, right? Like,
Yeah, for sure. All right, cool. Bertrand, you got closing thoughts? Because we've got people coming in saying they're looking forward to more sessions and like the idea of the vibe board, and it's great. I hope you use it, Shruti. This would be really fun to build a community around just experimentation and learning together. Right? That's really fun. So, what do you think, Bertrand?
Yeah, it's me who invited Shruti to the call because we have also like I was inspired with the web coding session we had with the graph. So that's also I propose to have the same for Lukso, that we should have this kind of web station. And I feel it was friendly. Even, that's a problem with following the script. If you have asked too much for feedback, then you may have more feedback than expected. And so we need maybe a timekeeper.
No, this is good.
Yeah,
this is good. This is good. I liked it. I think it's valuable. Alt and I have streamed for 3.5 hours before. So 2 hours, a little bit longer than anticipated, is not the worst thing in the world. I think
That's what I bet. I bet for 2 hours in my calendar, so exactly on time.
perfect. Then you're right. What we need to build is a betting application that we can run on the
Yes.
side, and we can bet in real time.
Yeah, at least learn, like voting. I mean, I feel that's what we try with Kevin. We'd like a voting app. So instead of doing it offline, we could having it in the one of the next session.
Sure.
Could be basic voting or then more. But yeah, at least I was glad to see it worked. That's my nice
Excellent.
thought.
Excellent. All right, cool. Mustafa, any parting words here before you go? And you're either going to do one or two things: go outside and touch grass, or keep vibe coding. What are you going to do?
Yeah, probably both. I still have enough time for both. Yeah, it's been fun. I mean, like even though we might pick the one of the like most difficult example because we tried the vibe code on a blockchain application, mini app. So it has lots of components that might went wrong. So it could be way easier just to keep it on web 2 level, mock everything, do this, do that, and put it on the grid. So it's something extraordinary looking, mocking everything type of thing. uh, yeah, it went quite well, I would say. Uh, it really validates also the templates is a good thing to have to get started with vibe coding or vibe learning, because it has lots of examples and usage examples inside of it, and well explained readme, etc. So it's a good way to vibe code or vibe learn on a certain topic or certain project, and in our case it was a mini app. So yeah, maybe in the future we can do the gaming templates, maybe, as we already discussed just a little bit, and or other topics that could spark whole another brainstorming for different project ideas. But yeah, it was fun, man. Thanks for inviting, and thanks for your all guys time.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Yeah, we're all in this together, and it's more fun to code with friends or vibe learn with friends. So
Yeah.
I think next time, like I said, it'd be really fun to try to actually get to something like a little visually stunning that we can build together from scratch. So maybe we start next time with actually how to think about beginning a project from the uh, defining a full project spec, bringing that project spec into Cursor, and then asking Cursor to go and build it out. And then, then work to actually integrate the chain aspect of it into this application, because there's a lot of work. The more work you do up front thinking through the decisions that you're going to make, the easier it's going to be to get the LLM to achieve what you're looking for. And it also, you can then see the power of where there's a lot of there's a wealth of knowledge being shared out there around something like React, where there's less knowledge being shared out there at the moment in the wild world of blockchain, right? So like there's nice levels there, right? I think that's what we'll do. That'll be fun. Okay,
Yeah.
everyone, it's been real. It's been fun. I've really enjoyed it. Oh, let me get this banner just for a second here. This is the common ground. Like, again, go to the common ground server, go to the courier board like I showed you. That is uh if you don't know, hold on. Commonground.cg, right? Sorry, I'm like thinking in real time. Commonground.cg, this one right here. That's where you want to go. That's how you can find the Luxo server, and you'll find the courier board right there. So I guess on that note, guys, everyone enjoy your weekend. Also, I'm assuming you don't have any dad jokes. Do you have a dad joke?
Sure. Why was the developer unhappy at their job?
You guys want to guess?
No.
No.
They wanted a raise.
You can repeat. You wanted?
They wanted a raise.
Yeah, a raise. Arrays.
Oh, a raise. They wanted a raise. Got it.
Wanted
That's
a
a
raise.
terrible joke, man.
It is awful.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
now I understand why the AI event I was in Paris last week was named Raise, like like a raise when
ARYS. Yeah.
you get a raise.
When you said a raise, I'm like, yeah, everybody wants more money.
Yeah, I know. That's why it works better in text format.
All right.
But yeah, just remember when vibe coding, it's not a bug. It's just a plot twist. I think that's my big takeaway today.
I like that. Not a bug. It's a plot twist. All right, cool. I really appreciate you guys. This has been it's been a fun time. So I guess we'll see everybody soon. And I'm looking for my standard. Yeah, we'll just surprise you all. Thank you.
Oh, man.
Thank you.
Bye, guys.
Thank you.